This time it is my honor to have Ava Yap, Samantha Bazone, and Arha Gottram lead us in Be the G Pledge.
I promise to be good to you, respect you, and include you. I will be the G. I promise to be kind and will gladly stick up for you. I will be the G. I promise to get help for you if you need it. I will be the G. I promise to be a great friend and the best student I can be. I will be the Super G.
Please take off your hats.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here is Gabriella Ingholm singing the Star Spangled Banner.
Please join in. Please join in.
Say it again.
Please join in.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Take that. Good morning, and thank you for your patience today as we awaited our honored guests to be here. Thank you, guests, for coming, and I hope that you had some time at the reception to mingle around and to share your stories with each other. So good morning, students, staff, and honored guests. It is with great pride and honor that I welcome you to our version of the Ben Franklin Flag Day celebration. Some of you might be asking, why are we here today and why to celebrate a flag? When I was out riding my early morning bike ride this morning, I asked and talked to my teammates. They didn't even know that it was Flag Day. So I hope that some of this assembly today and your participation in Flag Day will remind you about why the flag is so important. So what does it all mean? It was in 1916 that President Woodrow Wilson proclaimed June 14th as the official date for this holiday. Flag Day dates back as far as June 14th, 1885, a date for some of you might have no recollection of, when a school teacher, none other than a school teacher named Bernard J. Segrand in Wisconsin, had his students observe a flag birthday. He wrote many speeches and wrote articles about the need to honor the flag. To this day, he is considered the real father of Flag Day. So why all the fuss? Why invite veterans? Why come out here and do all this to celebrate a flag? We do this, we stand and say a pledge or fly it outdoors. Why do we fly the pledge? Why do we stand and say a pledge or fly it outdoors from sunrise or to sunset? Or have it flown every day outside our school buildings? Or why is it at the post office and all the other buildings of government that represents? It represents the men and women who have cared enough to keep our country free. It stands for courage, liberty, and loyalty. It represents what America is all about. So as we celebrate our Flag Day today, I challenge all of you to reflect and take pride in who you are and what the flag represents, and to truly honor all the men and women who have fought so bravely to protect our freedom. Each and every day, as we did today, you come to school and you recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Have you ever asked yourself, why do you do this every day? Well, the words in the Pledge of Allegiance are based upon truths that remain so to this day, that our flag will forever represent each one of us, our nation, and the freedoms our Constitution ensures us. Today, being Flag Day, is a time for the country to once again come together to honor the American flag, which is a 240-year-old symbol of strength, valor, and unity. From standing strong on the surface of the moon to rising from the smoldering ashes of the World Trade Center and Pentagon on September 11th, 2001, the American flag has long been an image of strength and uniting force for our country. Its power has been especially visible during times of great challenge and conflict, accompanying our armed services in every battle of war for more than 2 centuries. The American flag has led and continues to lead our soldiers, Marines, sailors, airmen, and guardsmen when duty calls, and has guided them home when their mission is complete. Although for those who died while in service to their country, they have been placed to eternal rest with the peace and of innocence at the flag at their side. Recently, we honored those who gave their lives in service to our nation as part of the annual Memorial Day Remembrance. It was a day to mark the history of our nation as it struggled for independence and freedom. It was also a time to remember those who had given the greatest sacrifice under the symbol of the American flag. The history and symbolism of the American flag cannot be overstated. It is more than a sewn piece of cloth. The flag is woven into the fabric of American society. There's not a day that you don't go by that somewhere, someplace, you see the American flag. For this reason, it must be protected from those who seek to deface and destroy the values and solace of pride it represents. Today and every day, we should fly the American flag at our homes, our businesses, and our schools with patriotism and pride. We should remember the significance of this undeniable symbol of democracy through its 240-year history, and we should honor those who are serving abroad under its mighty stars and stripes. So who created the first flag? 5th graders? All right, and everybody else. So some of you went to Betsy Ross's house just a couple weeks ago. It was Betsy Ross who sewed our first flag in June 1776. The 13 stars in a circle represent the 13 colonies. The red stands for valor and hardiness, white means purity and innocence, and blue stands for vigilance, perseverance, and justice. It was George Washington who said, "Let 13 stars in a circle stand as a new constellation in the heavens." In many states, school teachers encourage their students to celebrate the flag's birthday on June 14th in the late 1800s. As a result, each state and local government recognized its own celebration independently. Finally, it was President Truman who signed an act of Congress on August 3rd, 1949, designating June 14th of each year as National Flag Day. You heard earlier today, we sang the Star-Spangled Banner. Who wrote the Star-Spangled Banner? We're still teaching social studies, and that's on the video. Francis Scott Key wrote the words to the Star-Spangled Banner during the War of 1812. After the British invaded Washington, D.C. and set fire to the Capitol and White House, they attacked Baltimore in 1814. Francis Scott Key witnessed the days of bombing, after which he could still see the American flag flying at Fort McHenry. His song was later put to music and became our national anthem on March 2nd, 1931. It's amazing how our flag is still there, whether at World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and during the World Trade Center attack on 9/11 and all the other wars that, unfortunately, that we are still involved in. Our flag is always there. It truly is an American strength. It reminds me of all the men and women who have fought so hard and have given their lives so we can be free, as in the words of none other than Martin Luther King, free at last, free at last. We are and continue to be free at last. So once again, I'd like to thank our special guests, all of you, for being here and taking the time out of your busy schedules and day. And I hope that as our students participate in singing our patriotic songs, it gives you a sense that your status as a veteran is remembered with honor, dignity, and respect. And most of all, that what you have done and continue to do for our flag and country is respected and will never be forgotten. So as we start our assembly program and partake in singing songs to honor our flag, I challenge all of you, the students, the staff, and all of our country in America, in spite of all the things that have been going on that we hear in the news today, to be proud, to take pride in America. So as you think of America and your flag, remember these words by Theodore Roosevelt, and I quote, "This country will not be a good place for any of us to live in unless we make it a good place for all of us to live in." I thank you for your time and listening, and now I look forward to our entertainment. Great job, recorder students. Thank you, Mr. Lopez, and band students. now my honor to introduce our special guests on the stage, which are our veterans. And although you, the students who might not know them by face, these are the ladies and gentlemen who you have written letters to over the years, or you've done fundraisers for, or veteran cards, or things that you have done, or collected money and donations for gifts. You're losing your stuff. And because of you, the students, they are here today to be honored by you and to share their thankfulness for all they've done. So when I please call your name, please wave, stand, salute, whichever you like, but we want to recognize you for your service. We have Mark Michalski, Lance Corporal, U.S. Marine Corps, family of Jamie Michalski, and this from Mrs. Bapp's class. John J. Ozinski, Master Sergeant, Army Reserves, Vietnam veteran, family of Connor Rea, Mrs. DeVestron's class. We have Mike Holensack, E3 Seaman, U.S. Navy, family of Gina Holensack from Mrs. Sack's class. Frank Uhas, Sergeant, U.S. Army 25th Infantry Division, Vietnam, brother-in-law of Mrs. Donovan. Peter Lency, U.S. Army, family of Adam Lency, Mrs. Nuzzo's class. Lawrence Normant, Sergeant, U.S. Army, Vietnam, family of Matthew and Emily Labanich in Mrs. Nuzzo and Mrs. Jones' class. Alan Samuelson, U.S. Air Force Airman, 2nd class, family of William Smith from Miss Caramanos and Mrs. Steinhaber's class. Valerie Eccles, U.S. Army, family of Dylan Eccles, Mrs. Blaustein, Mrs. Callis's class. Alexander De Palma, U.S. Navy, EN-2C, USS Burry, EE-704, family of Claire and Rory Doherty from Mrs. Panich's and Mr. Savilli's class. William W. Moore, Sergeant, E-5, U.S. Army Signal Corps, family of Sarah and Connor Moore in Mrs. Crimmins and Mrs. Angelillo's class. Richard Hijack, Sergeant, E-5 Marines, father-in-law of Mrs. Hijack. And Anthony Legruder, U.S. Army Sergeant, father of Mrs. Afonso. Is there anybody here I did not call? Anybody here I did not? Everybody was called? Come, sorry. And we also have
Lance Corporal Gorge, USMC.
Thank you for coming. Let's give him a round of applause and thank you for your service. We also, to your left, my left, your right, we also have the veterans from the Veterans Memorial Home. And we would like to thank them for making the very special trip on their van and all their staff for supporting them to be here today. We have Melvin Gross from the Air Force, served in the Air Force. Please wave, Melvin. Virginia Smith, served in the Navy. Mary Bennett, and he served in the Army. Fred Ferreira, served in the Navy. Peter Dill, served in the Army. Bill O'Brien, served in the Army. And Anthony Parisi, served in the Army. Let's give all of them a round of applause for their service, for what they've done for our flag and our country, and for being here today. As we mentioned in our talk today, we are lucky to have all these people who are still with us, who have served for us, and still are here to talk about and share their stories so that we learn from what happened, so that hopefully we don't repeat the mistakes or realize that men and women could solve their problems through compromise, negotiation, and from good, solid communication, that it shouldn't take lives and killing to fight over countries, religions, beliefs, as we are all human beings and we are all one world. And that is the challenge to you, the students, to make the world and the next generations better and better, so we don't make these same mistakes. But unfortunately, there are many men and women who cannot be with us. And at this time, I would like to take the honor to call Jake Hearn from Mrs. Grogan's class to come join us on the podium here. We'll go by Mrs. Good. Let's hear for Jake, and we'll explain his story in a moment. As many of you might or might not know, there is a solemn ground where one of our presidents, John F. Kennedy, has been laid to rest. And along in that cemetery, or that area, as we call it, the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. So today we're going to take a moment that while they might not be here, the men and women who have fought so bravely, that maybe their spirit and hopefully they're here, and we're going to take a moment to light this candle in their honor, to recognize them, that they gave the ultimate sacrifice for all of us for freedom, so we could be free. So on this Flag Day, we honor not just the flag and those who've worn this country's uniform, but the men and women who've died in its service, who've laid down their lives in defense of their fellow citizens, who've given their last full measure of devotion to protect the family, which represents the United States of America. None other is said than President Obama. So let's just take a moment and reflect to those men and women. Thank you. May your spirit and all you've done for us continue to make a difference. Each and every year, Mrs. Grogan challenges her students to write our wonderful President of the United States, and the President is? Okay. And this year, Jake, come over here, Jake, so you can be seen, was the first one to receive his letter from none other than the President. And he receives a beautiful packet of the pictures and of the family and so on. And I would like to share what President Obama said to Jake on behalf of today's ceremony. Dear Jake, thank you for writing. Hearing from young people like you inspires me each and every day, and I am glad you took the time to share your thoughts. As a nation, we have no higher priority than making sure the doors of opportunity are wide open for you and your generation. And as your president, that is a promise I will never stop working to keep. In the years ahead, always remember that nothing is beyond your reach, as long as you're willing to dream big and work hard. If you stay focused on your education, I know there are no limits to what you can achieve. Thank you again for your kind note. I wish you all the best. Barack Obama, from the President. So on behalf of Jake and the President, let's give Jake a round of applause for a great job on being the first one to get his letter from the President. Okay, you may go down. Thanks. Good job. Okay. Each and every year at this time, usually, we give the microphone to a special guest, a very special guest of mine, but unfortunately, this year my dad cannot be here. But he did want me to leave some words of recognition to you, the students, and as well as to all the veterans that are here today. He just said to challenge the students to continue to realize that all your dreams can come true if you continue to work hard and you continue to be honored and devoted to the country. But he also wanted to say to you, the veterans, that he's sorry he could not be here with you today, but wanted to thank all of you for your service, and that he will miss sharing his stories today with you, as some of you asked me about whether he could be here today. So those were some of his words, and I said I would pass those on. Also, we have some special guests. I would just like to say that Mr. Bowden, the ETA president, is here with us today for this special event. And we also have Miss Diane, as you know, Wave Diane, who retired, is back with us today as well, so thanks for joining us. And at this time, I believe we're going to hear from, turn the microphone over to one of our veterans very quickly for a few words. Mr. Hijack.
Oh boy. The Commandant.
Commandant. He was selected by the comrades.
This is how I got in the Marine Corps. Everybody took one step back and I was in front. Again, thank you so much, students, faculty, principal, for allowing us to come here today and celebrate Flag Day with you. You cannot believe how honored we are when we see your young faces out there with those flags waving. I know for me personally, I love this country. I love that flag. So to me, every one of you represent the future. And we, the veterans here, are so proud of what you're doing. There are so many children in other countries that don't have a chance to get an education. You have that opportunity. Don't waste it. Get involved, learn about history, learn about how we got here. Question everything, get involved. So from my heart, all the veterans here, especially these veterans who fought so hard so we can go to school and we have the freedoms that we have today. I want to thank you sincerely. And I know if the principal's dad was here, tears would be coming out of his eyes because I can feel it in my heart. But thank you so much for everything you do for Flag Day and to honor the veterans. Again, thank you so much. God bless you. God bless America.
continue to stand as we have one more. Let's hear it for America. If anybody would like to stand up or join in, feel free to do so. One more song from. Great job, students. Now let's bang this one out and do an even better job on this one. We also now have a very special presentation to our veterans, so it is my honor to call up Mrs. Medler and Mrs. Petruzzi.
We want to thank all of the veterans and the staff at New Jersey Memorial Veterans Home for being here on this special day. Over the past school year, our students have enjoyed making cards, showing their appreciation for our veterans on Veterans Day and Valentine's Day. Our Ben Franklin families and staff have raised $350 in honor of Flag Day and to say thank you for all you have done to faithfully serve our country. On behalf of the Student Council and our community here at Ben Franklin, we would like to present you with this gift card. We hope you can use it and put it to good use. Thank you again for all you have done.
So in closing, I would just like to leave with you two lasting things. This is also something that I found about Flag Day, and it says, "Dear American hero, this Flag Day, our nation is again reminded of the tremendous sacrifices endured to ensure America's freedom. You've bravely and proudly carried the burden of defending this country, and for that, there are no words to express our gratitude. Because of you, this country remains the greatest nation on earth. May God bless you and God bless America." So thank you to our flag and the symbolism that it does. So we hope today that you walked away from this ceremony feeling pride, some patriotism, and the importance of freedom, your freedom, and also students of the next generation. As I've said to so many of you, it is your world. It is for you to make a difference. It is for you to be the change. And it is for you to continue on the wonderful history, and so that generations beyond yourselves can continue to make this country the wonderful place it is. On that note, this Sunday is a special day for Father's Day. And we've always closed the ceremony with this poem, so I would like to share that in honor of all the dads and men and women and moms and all those who are here. So, a dad is a person who is loving and kind, and often he knows what you have on your mind. He's someone who listens, suggests, and defends. A dad can be one of your very best friends. He's proud of your triumphs and will be there when things go wrong. A dad can be patient and helpful and strong. In all that you do, a dad's love plays a part. There's always a place for him deep in your heart. And each year that passes, more grateful and proud, it's just enough to call him your dad. Thank you, dads, for listening and caring, for giving and sharing, but especially for just being you, a dad. So to all the dads out here and all those who have fathers and are still here with us, happy Father's Day as well this Sunday. So once again, thank you to all that made this happen today. Students, please take the songs and the messages that you've remembered and what you've done today. And once again, let's give us a round of applause to our veterans who have served with us here today.
You